It's like if you're walking down the street with a $100 bill attached to your forehead, if someone snatched it off your head and runs away with it, did you deserve to get robbed? No, but you're kind of stupid for putting a $100 bill on your forehead. He even said himself, he does not care. He's going to be petty. He's going to push the case as much as possible. His main goal is to shut up Coffeezilla and to drain his bank account, and that is why Logan will always be a disgusting human being. Hey, I don't think your throne is being shook. I think you're being held accountable for your actions. Jesus Christ. Such a weirdo, bro. I don't understand how people can defend Logan Paul when he turns around and does stuff like this. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. If you know me, you know who I am. If you don't, my name is Trey Fab. I'm a React content creator. I like to make different React content, whether that be the TikTok, YouTube, drama nonsense, or that be the basketball, different basketball content in general in the modern NBA. So if you like basketball insight, I'm the guy for you. And if you like brain rot, I'm the guy for you. With that being said, today, let's get some brain rot, huh? We got Internet Anarchist. The Coffeezilla versus Logan Paul situation gets worse. So let's get this shit cracking.
Logan Paul has officially exposed his true motives for suing Coffeezilla, and in doing so, severely crippled his chances of winning the defamation lawsuit. Zilla will pay, one way or another, I'll make sure of it, just to make his life difficult. Bro, you're a billionaire. A petty billionaire. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist.
I never understood, if you are going to have a lawsuit against anybody, if you're pushing a lawsuit against whoever it is, one thing I will never understand is why you continue to either incriminate yourself or to tank your own lawsuit because you're too petty to keep your mouth shut. I see this time and time again with like celebrities. You see this with like the Blake Lively situation. These guys don't know how to keep their mouth shut when it comes to these lawsuits. Why don't you just shut up and wait till the court case happens so then you can let it run its course? But if you keep fucking talking, all that can be used against you in court. You understand this, right? And then it comes to the court case and their shit gets tanked. They're like, damn, what happened? Well, you couldn't shut the fuck up. Damn.
I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be uncovering the recent developments in the Coffeezilla vs. Logan Paul lawsuit, how it's going, what's been revealed in the latest filings, and how it could fundamentally change the YouTube landscape when it's all said and done. I think everyone watching is more than familiar with the ongoing legal battle between Logan Paul and Coffeezilla. However, if you're not all caught up, here's a super brief overview of what's going on. Almost 2 years after Coffeezilla released a 3-part documentary covering the infamous CryptoZoo project that cost users millions, Logan went through with his initial threats of legal action and filed a lawsuit against Coffeezilla, reading, as a direct and proximate result of the publication of the false and defamatory January 5th, 2024 YouTube video, Paul has suffered damages including injury to reputation, embarrassment, humiliation, emotional distress, and economic damages in an amount to be determined at trial. Anyone...
Okay, how about the people you scammed? And listen, I said this time and time again. I'm not one of the people that say that you necessarily deserve to get scammed if you fall for like a crypto scheme like this. Everybody understands that it's a scam and we're pulling it out, guys. If you guys are new to my channel, you don't know what I'm pulling out. Maybe it's my PP. But no, it's not that. In all seriousness though, we're pulling out Sketchpad. So basically, I talked about this before. But if you're not aware of why all this crypto shit is a scam, is because a bunch of people buy into it. So they already have the market at a certain point, all right? This is the shit they allow you to buy. They allow you to buy like 20% of it, right? But before it even goes up for sale, 80% of it is already bought. So 80% has already been bought by different friends, family, whatever the case may be. 80% has been bought. This is your 20, this is your 80. I would switch colors, but I haven't used Sketchpad in so long, I don't know how to do so. But you get my point. 80%, 20%. So, now that this has been bought up, you're sitting here thinking, oh, I'm going to pull out before, when it gets to a certain point, and before Logan decides to pull out. But Logan already figures what number is best for him to pull out, and he pulls out all his money. So then you're sitting here with an empty bag, and you get nothing. The difference between this and like market shares and like stocks and shit like that is when you put money into a stock, it constantly goes up and down. So then when a bunch of money does get pulled up by selling the stock, it does have a dip. But since it has more product to buy and more people are going to constantly buy into the company, it's going to go up. But with a crypto scheme, scam, coin, whatever the case may be, people are only going to buy as it rises, and then it's going to set. As soon as it dips completely down and there's nothing left, people are usually not going to buy back into an empty bag. You're never going to buy an empty lunch bag. What's the point? It's just hopium that other people are going to buy it with you. It's probably not going to happen. So then you walk away broke. This is what it is. This is not my speculation. This is not me just assuming. This is what a crypto coin is. So if you buy into cryptocurrency, understand you will be scammed. It's just about hopefully you will be the one doing the scamming versus the guy who's not going to scam you. That's it. It's just who can scam the other person first. That's basically what all this crypto bullshit mostly can be. Now there's a few legitimate ones out there. But I promise you, if it's from an influencer, 90% of the time, it's not legitimate. So do you deserve to get scammed? No. It's like if you're walking down the street with a $100 bill attached to your forehead. If someone snatched it off your head and runs away with it, did you deserve to get robbed? No. But you're kind of stupid for putting a $100 bill on your forehead. That's how this works. But it doesn't take away the fact that Logan Paul is a piece of shit. Just because you take advantage of stupid people doesn't mean that you're not a piece of shit. You guys get what I'm saying? Because he still took advantage of people, albeit they may be stupid, they shouldn't have bought into this. All this can be said. It's still wrong for you to scam people. Hot take. It's like people who call elderly people who don't know any better and scam them. We're not saying they're stupid, but they're vulnerable. These people that bought into this CryptoZoo shit, yeah, we can probably say they're stupid. But I don't know them personally, but they were probably promised an actual product and they got scammed on it. So that's a little different. The reason that Logan Paul shit is a bit more nefarious is because, at least with the other crypto shit, people know going into it is definitely a scam. You're buying it, you're buying it, you're buying it, and you're hoping to get money out. But with the CryptoZoo shit, it still was scam me. But there was an actual product that was promised to make them more money that he never delivered on. And that's why Logan Paul is even more of a scumbag. So I'm not taking any responsibility away from Logan Paul. I just wanted to break down a little bit exactly like the crypto shit. Most of the time, that's what it is. And the reason Logan Paul is even more disgusting is because it's 100% a scam. The other shit's scammy. Don't get me wrong. It definitely is. People do it all the time, and Coffeezilla calls it out all the time. But when you promise a product and you don't even follow up on the promise that you made, that makes you even more scummy.
Anyone who knew the story behind their feud over CryptoZoo could tell that the lawsuit wasn't filed over genuine damages, but as a means of getting revenge against the one man who was bold enough to document and expose all of his lies. After all, Logan didn't fulfill his promise to finish the CryptoZoo game, nor did he refund egg holders. And to make matters even worse, he was facing a class action lawsuit spearheaded by attorney Tom over the project. Going after Coffeezilla with a defamation lawsuit over factual events could suggest that Logan wanted to either make an example of him, silence him, bankrupt him with legal fees, or all three. While all these factors are at play, examining the case files not only reveals a much more sinister plan from Logan, but also a game-changing move from Coffeezilla that could potentially demolish the lawsuit. To fully understand the lawsuit's progression, we have to know the underlying processes both parties have to go through by law. They include 1. Pleadings, 2. Discovery, 3. Motions, 4. Trial, and 5. Appeals if necessary. For the sake of this video, we'll only be focusing on the discovery process and the motions filed in the case. Regarding discovery, Logan and Coffeezilla are required by the courts to hand over relevant documents, media, and recordings that could help prove or disprove the basis of the lawsuit. To prevent certain private or sensitive information from getting leaked to the public, both parties in the lawsuit agreed to a joint confidentiality order. This means that no matter how damaging the information they find out about Logan, if it's deemed confidential, it won't be reported on by Coffeezilla and will be redacted in public documents. This veil of confidentiality and the necessary discovery process gave Logan the perfect avenue to demand particular communication between Coffeezilla and a yet-to-be-named third party in the CryptoZoo case.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't Logan Paul quite literally say that he was going to drop the case against Coffeezilla? Am I tripping on that? Logan Paul definitely said that he was gonna drop the case against Coffeezilla because Coffeezilla, brought it to light, and he shouldn't be mad at Coffee. See, this is what I'm. Logan Paul is such a two-faced piece of shit. He'll say one thing and then he'll go back and do another. There's a reason he has a bunch of heat in the WWE. He's genuinely disliked. I truly feel like Logan is probably the only heel that can never be a face in the WWE. If you're unaware of what a heel and a face is, heel is bad guy, face is good guy. I genuinely believe he can never, ever, ever, ever be a face in the WWE. He can't. Because the heat he has is actually real. People don't like him. When I was at WrestleMania, and he's not keep in mind, guys, Paul, he's not bad at what he does. He's not bad. He is good. He is very good. I will give him that. But when I was at WrestleMania with my wife, I decided to get up and I was like, oh, I'm going to go to the bathroom now because, I don't really care for this Logan Paul match because I don't really care for Logan Paul. Because I genuinely don't like him as a person. So I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and watch this. I don't care if he's good. I got to go to the bathroom. I got up to go to the bathroom. Bro, everyone was at the bathroom. Everyone was at the bathroom. They're like, all right, let me go to the shop. Everyone was at the shop. Like, he's so disliked. People don't like this guy. He's not liked. There's a reason that people are angry that he's going to be like in a championship match tomorrow. He's not liked. So yeah, I don't like Logan Paul. There's many reasons why I don't like the guy. He just comes off as somebody who feels so entitled to everything, but doesn't feel like, he ever does anything wrong, nor should he have to work for anything he's entitled for, since he already worked before. He's already where he's at. So now he's the prize. He's the catch. And it's gross.
Reading, plaintiff Logan Paul moves this court to compel defendants to produce all communications between Paul and others regarding Paul's involvement with the CryptoZoo project that defendants possessed when they published the libels at the issue in this case. Essentially, Logan wanted to see everything that went into planning the CryptoZoo documentary and argued that it was a key part of proving Coffeezilla maliciously produced the documentary. In response, Coffeezilla's legal team argued that said communications were protected by Texas's journalistic privileges and the First Amendment. They even went as far as pointing out previous instances when Logan requested these communications but refused to abide by their request regarding his communications, with the document stating, defendants proposed a simple solution that preserves the privilege. Paul can ask Coffeezilla in a deposition whether he has certain documents or information Paul believes support his claim that Coffeezilla acted with actual malice. Defendants also offered to review Paul's production and identify which documents Coffeezilla also has. Ironically, as Logan was trying to get information out of Coffeezilla, he was filing motions to protect his own private communication from being made public. Logan's goal during discovery was to protect his secrets at all costs, while he was trying to gather as much information on Coffeezilla as he could. Sadly, that strategy would be his undoing. It would later be revealed that the individual Logan was trying to get communications about was none other than attorney Tom. To make matters worse, after the judge looked over their communication in person, he granted Coffeezilla and attorney Tom's motion, but denied Logan's. By going after them so directly, Logan had stupidly linked this defamation lawsuit to the class action lawsuit, and opened the door for the Coffeezilla side to make some actual critical connections. On the 15th of April 2025, Coffeezilla's attorney would file a motion to stay and transfer the venue of the case. Essentially, they wanted to pause all the court proceedings until the court confirms the connection between the cases and merges litigations with Logan's other CryptoZoo lawsuit. Their reasoning for bringing forth this motion were threefold. 1, to make the litigation more efficient due to the overlap in the premise and evidence of both cases. 2, Logan was using the lawsuit not to gain compensation, but as a way to punish Coffeezilla. And 3, Logan was trying to use the defamation case to obtain information about the other pending lawsuits. With the document reading, unable to obtain discovery with the Holland case effectively, stayed while the court considered motions to dismiss. Paul strategically filed this lawsuit to punish the reporter who helped uncover his cryptocurrency scam and gain discovery to defend himself in the pending civil proceedings.
Okay, so I think the Internet Anarchist broke it down pretty well. But if you guys are a little lost, I'll even slow it down a little bit, because it's not like he's speaking fast, but still, we'll slow it down a little bit. We'll put it at normal speed. We'll probably slow it down even more. Now we'll put it at normal speed. But if you guys are kind of like, what the fuck is going on real quick? What is Logan doing? So basically what I'm getting out of all of this is Logan is pretty much pushing a case against, because right now Logan has lawsuits against him, right? from the CryptoZoo bullshit that he decided to pull. He has lawsuits against him from the people that he decided to scam. And what he's doing is he's pushing a case against Coffeezilla. And only reason he's doing that is so he can have something called discovery. In discovery, like he stated earlier, you get to ask all the information, all the proof, anything they have in regards of you, they got to bring that to the table, and you got to also do the same. So basically what he's doing is he's trying to get as much information out of Coffeezilla, so basically have someone else do his homework, as possible to use in the current lawsuits that he has right now to defend himself, while having it be a double-edged sword. Also, kind of bullying Coffeezilla into taking his video down or making a retraction of some sort because of his video that he made on Logan Paul involving the CryptoZoo. So it's a double-edged sword. It's to intimidate Coffeezilla because of the video he made against him, and it's also to get more information that he can use on the current lawsuits that are getting pushed against Paul. So again, scumbag shit. He's not even suing Coffeezilla because he feels like he was wronged. He's suing Coffeezilla so he can try to cover his ass more in the lawsuits that he's currently getting pushed on himself. This is why I said Logan Paul is a piece of shit. Everything he does is strategic. Everything he does is simply for his own selfish benefit. He doesn't even care about Coffeezilla. He just cares about the information that Coffeezilla has to try to cross-reference it, to try to make it look like Coffeezilla is wrong somewhere, or the information that he has shows that, you know what, Logan is actually the victim, so he's able to push that in a different lawsuit that Logan is in and say, hey, judge, this information that I got from another source shows that I'm actually not the bad guy here, I'm the victim, so let's drop this case. Jesus, man. Multi-millionaire. Can't pay a defense team to fucking do your own defense. You gotta go the fucking disgusting route of suing Coffeezilla to try to get more information for lawsuits that you're already in. You're such a weirdo, bro. I don't understand how people can defend Logan Paul when he turns around and does stuff like this.
Regarding the second point, Coffeezilla's attorney provides some very concerning text messages from Logan made prior to filing the lawsuit, reading, "Lawyering up, suing this MFer into the ground. Then everything will come out, court docs are public," as well as, "So everyone will see what happened for better or for worse." Logan obviously didn't take into account how bad things are about to get for him, as the next set of text messages reveal just how devastating Coffeezilla's coverage was, reading, "There's a price to pay. That's the idea. I see the momentum building because the throne is being shook right now," as well as, "Need to shut it down."
The throne is being shook right now. Logan, you're a weirdo, dude. What are you talking about? The throne is being shook right now? Yeah, maybe because you scammed people, okay? I don't think your throne is being shook. I think you're being held accountable for your actions. Jesus Christ.
Even admits the entire purpose of the lawsuit was, quote, "just to make his life difficult." If any of these statements didn't sink his lawsuit, claiming he's a, quote, "petty billionaire," definitely did. These receipts not only wreck Logan's reputation publicly, or at least what was left of it, but also damage the strength of his arguments in court. When you look at how desperately Logan was trying to get information out of Coffeezilla, the connection between the two lawsuits becomes almost impossible to ignore. Both cases rely on the same claims and need to answer the same fundamental question of whether or not Logan scammed CryptoZoo users. Getting information from Coffeezilla was the quickest way he could bolster his legal defense, and when you take into note the timing of the case, Logan's motives become undeniable. In Texas, the state the case was filed, there is a 1-year statute of limitation for defamation claims. Logan didn't file his lawsuit until June 2024, which means he couldn't cite Coffeezilla's original 3-part series and had to go after him for more recent claims. This implies that he wasn't ready or willing to sue Coffeezilla initially, and only found a reason to do so recently. Looking at everything broadly, it seems the reason was the Holland lawsuit. Logan effectively started one lawsuit to end the other, and ended up biting off more than he could chew. Logan's hasty attitude to the case has given Coffeezilla the perfect opportunity to either end the case sooner or have it litigated alongside the more serious class action lawsuit. However, winning isn't Coffeezilla's only concern. Having sufficient funding to ride out the case was also a concern. The process of going through all the necessary documents during the discovery will require tens or hundreds of billable hours from his legal team, and
that's also a thing with lawsuits. A lot of people don't understand how expensive lawsuits can be. If you guys look at my face here, I'll show you my beautiful face. Let me fix my OBS real quick. You guys ready for this? Oh, I've fixed my background. Oh, nope, that's my background. Let me grab my camera. Okay, here. You guys ready for this? Ready for this? Boom. Boom. Look at me. I'm beautiful. But if you look at my face, right? You see this? Yeah. This isn't a fashion statement, I promise. I was hit by a car, okay? Really bad accident, really dumbass driver. And I had to get skin grafts on my face, right? So that's why my eyebrows never gonna fully come back, because I literally had to get skin from like under my arm, I think, to get put on my face in order to, you know, have skin on my face, because I actually lost skin in the car accident. It was bad. But anyway, everybody, all my friend group, oh, why didn't you sue? Why didn't you sue? Oh, let me fix this. Okay, let me grab my camera. They're like, oh, come on, bro. I hate OBS. There we go. Come on. Come on. There we go. Jesus. Sorry, guys. I apologize for the technical difficulties. But, like, yeah, why didn't you sue? Why didn't you take them to court? Why didn't you do all that? I got settlement money from their car insurance company that paid for my bills and was able to get me a decent used car, nothing crazy, and I was able to pay off medical bills, get a decent used car, have this computer that I can talk to you guys on, and save up a little bit of money so I'm able to go to college. But not a lot. I didn't get a lot of money, trust me. I am nowhere near a large amount whatsoever, and even my lawyer said I probably should have more. Everything, all things considering, but at the end of the day, because of the person's situation, if I push them into a case, not only would it probably take forever and I would have to pay my portion of those legal fees, but even if we went to court and even if that person ended up paying for my lawyer, at the end of the day, I still had to get to that point, and I couldn't afford to do that. There's a lot of people that can't afford to do that. Even if you're Coffeezilla with a lot of money, it's hard to do that because you may be able to get your money back, right? Because everybody keeps looking at, oh, who cares? You're going to get your money back in the long run. Can you do that, though? Are you able to afford a lawsuit over the span of like 2 years just to win? But can you pay all that money upwards up to 2 years, 3 years, 4? That's hard. So sometimes you got to bite the bullet, and I find it difficult. I found that difficult at the time when I had my own legal issues, and I'm just like, I'm not going to push a lawsuit, because even if I did at the time, they could always just file for bankruptcy, because I think they had opened like a second mortgage on their home, the person that hit me. So they could always just file for bankruptcy and prove that they can't even pay the fees. And then now I'm stuck with everything. I got barely anything out of them. The little money that I had to go to the legal case. I don't get any money out of them whatsoever, and they get to claim bankruptcy because they don't have the money. So what would be the point, right? Now, Logan can't file for bankruptcy, so it's understandable doing a countersuit and pushing this against him. But it's just one of those gross things where it's like, bro, Coffee has to pay for this up until Logan is found to be a dipshit and loses the case. But Logan can drag this out for so long. Up until the point where he finally loses, and it's like, oh, cool. I spent upwards of like $500,000 in the last 4 years for this fucking legal case. And now, you're going to pay me back for all my legal fees. But that's a lot of money. I can only imagine. Especially when it's against, like, because these guys are viewed as businesses. This is their business. So I can only imagine the amount of money they would have to pour into their case. But hey, Logan even said himself, he does not care. He's going to be petty. He's going to push the case as much as possible. His main goal is to shut up Coffeezilla and to drain his bank account. And that is why Logan will always be a disgusting human being.
That's if they're just looking over the necessary documents. Knowing Logan, he could prolong the case by flooding Coffeezilla's legal team with unnecessary documents during discovery. To prevent that from happening, Coffeezilla's legal team initially opted for the quicker way to end the case through a settlement in mediation, and was given a deadline of the 26th of June 2025 to conclude it with Logan's side. While a mediator isn't the one to give a final verdict on the case, involving one could speed up the legal process and reduce legal costs for everyone involved. Fortunately, Coffeezilla's side was a more effective way to conclude the case, and one could only hope the judge agrees with them. It goes without saying, but every step of the legal process is expensive, and the more steps Logan adds to the process, the worse it gets for Coffeezilla. At some point, you wonder if Logan is even trying to win the case, or instead going for a game of trying to drain Coffeezilla's bank account. Prolonging the case not only keeps Coffeezilla from reporting about him, but also hurts his biggest critic financially. If Coffeezilla loses or is bankrupted by legal fees, Logan and other crypto scammers would become even more of a problem, and have more confidence to take advantage of their fans. On the other hand, if Coffeezilla wins, his victory wouldn't just extend to the class action lawsuit, but to any journalist that reports on crypto scams. Influencers like Logan Paul would be held accountable, and fans that lost their money would be made whole. Reporting on a wealthier and more litigious influencer wouldn't be viewed as a possibly career-ending move, but as a necessary action. Not to mention the fact that this case will be cited in future lawsuits as case law, and will potentially protect other journalists who might face a similar weaponized lawsuit. Whichever way the case concludes, it will certainly cascade throughout the online world and dictate how we handle such high-profile scams going forward. When Logan initially filed this lawsuit, he must have assumed it would be a walk in the park, but judging by his recent motion to keep his text messages confidential, it seems he's starting to regret it. With the document reading, it is apparent that those materials have no relevance to the motion or defendant's arguments, and instead were almost certainly filed for the sole and improper purpose of providing defendants with an excuse to advocate for their public disclosure in order to harm and embarrass plaintiff.
I will never understand why it's like, bro, I don't want that information to be out. You're literally just using that against me to embarrass me. It's like, you're the one that said it, though. It's your words. It's not like they're asking for defamatory information that has nothing to do with the case. Like when you were 15 years old, you made a stupid ass video. Bro, it is text messages that you made pertaining to this case that you gave to a friend. This is all your words. Some people need to, this is what I'm talking about. Logan Paul, Jake Paul, the Paul family. They have such a hard time with just accountability. When you mess up, you're gonna be held accountable for it. If you say disgusting, stupid, dumb shit, yeah, it's probably gonna be used against you in court. Why are you so stupid when it comes to that?
Logan's ever-expanding ego led him to assume he could get away with robbing his fans and suing Coffeezilla. Unfortunately, that same ego blinded him to just how poorly planned his case was. Now, he's not only facing 2 lawsuits that he's unlikely to win, but is getting his brand torn to pieces publicly, and has no one to blame for it except himself.
What an idiot. What a fucking moron. I'm sorry. Not much I can say besides that. Logan Paul's a dumbass. I hope we all can see how big of a dumbass he is, and hopefully Coffeezilla is able to ride this storm out. Hopefully he doesn't push it past June, and we can see what Coffee has to say as far as this case goes. But yeah, I'll make sure to do the little part I can. I mean, I ain't got money, okay? Like I told you guys, all my money went to school. I paid a little bit on this computer, okay? And my medical bills, which were a lot. But besides that, man, I got a little money saved up. I can't be donating like that. But what I can do is I can go to Coffeezilla's page and I can watch his videos in the background while I'm cleaning and shit like that. A little bit of help I can do. Like, because I hope he wins. I hope he wins. Because Logan needs to be held accountable. You cannot continue just keep doing disgusting shit. And just because you have money, think you can just get away with it. Okay? Never been the guy to kind of believe in karma, but I've always been the guy to believe in justice. And justice needs to be served here. But justice, unlike karma, involves some work. So, if you guys watch me, my little bit of advice to you guys, you know, if you clean, you guys work out, go to the gym, whatever the case may be, watch some Coffeezilla. I know it may seem boring, crypto, nonsense, but his videos can be interesting, and sometimes he just kind of talks about shit. I watch some of his videos. I'd say watch Coffeezilla, give him a view or two, give him a like or two, and let's just help homie out so he can stop Logan. Stop Logan Paul from not taking accountability. But until next time, guys, let me know if there's anything you want me to react to, and I'll do so. Somebody wanted me to react to Jason Whitlock. I will drop that on Sunday, reacting to a Jason Whitlock video. So, yeah, keep that out. If there's anything drama-wise you guys want me to react to, let me know. But until next time, I love you. I'll see you. Peace out. Goodbye.